Welcome to Who Are You, the Bobcats you know, the stories you don't. I'm your host, Joel Vanner, inside the podcast studio at Quinnipiac University's School of Communications, and I'm joined today by my guest, Jess Theodore. Jess, welcome to the show.
Hello, I'm happy to be here.
I'm sure you could guess by the name of the program what my first question to you is going to be, and that is, who are you?
Hi, I'm Jess Theodore. I'm currently a senior in the 3+1 computer cybersecurity program here. I have a minor in artificial intelligence and game design development. This is my second year being an RA, and I'm also a research assistant in the School of Computing and Engineering.
A lot there on Jess's resume from your experience so far here at Quinnipiac, but take me back. How did you become interested in these fields? What was it like growing up? What were you involved in?
I was very influenced by my parents. My dad immigrated here when he was 10 to Queens, and my mom immigrated here when she was 26 from India to continue her career because she has a master's in computer science. And growing up, she was a software developer and a facilities manager, so I was always kind of surrounded by computers and like her working like all the time. And my dad was also an airplane mechanic for the U.S. Navy, so he's always very technical and always thinking about stuff like that.
So you have your idols, your parents at home. In high school, did you take advantage of computer-related activities? What did you do in high school?
I took a few AP computer science courses, but I kind of found myself with computers in organizations and clubs at my high school. So I worked as the liaison for the Board of Education in my district, and I kind of worked as the voice for students in these clubs and organizations at the high school to our Board of Ed, just so I could help them with funding, getting sponsorships, and that's what kind of led me to also be on the robotics team in my high school, where I worked on the business team and I helped them with sponsorships and getting funding.
Those are two pretty big opportunities. The liaison of the Board of Education speaking on behalf of the students there, that had to be a lot of pressure on you.
It was, but I knew that my friends were always there to support me and I was working for them as well.
So thinking about life after high school, right? Looking at colleges, how did Quinnipiac pop up on your radar?
It kind of popped up on my radar because of the 3+1 program. And I knew that I wanted to go to grad school. I knew that I wanted to do that and that it would be in my best interest. But I didn't want to spend all my early 20s in grad school and paying for that.
It doesn't sound...
No,
it doesn't sound good.
Like, I like school, but I didn't want to be there forever. And Quinnipiac was one of the only schools that offered that.
So tell me more about the 3+1 program and how it helps you get 2 degrees.
So essentially, in your first 3 years, you take a few extra credits or classes, I would say, every semester. And you can take classes in the summer as well as over January. And you basically stack your credits every semester. So you can finish early, and grad school is only 1 year after. And
your undergraduate degree is in computer science.
Yes.
That sounds broad. Tell me more about the program and the type of courses that you took there.
So when I first started off freshman and sophomore year, it was a lot of data structures classes, algorithms classes, as well as a lot of math classes. And I'm not the biggest math fan.
We can relate about that.
But one of the hardest classes that I definitely had to take was discrete mathematics. And it definitely tested my confidence a lot. But there were a lot of professors here that helped me a lot here.
Discrete mathematics sounds like a challenging class to me just by the name. Did you have troubles in that class? Was that a class that you really had to band together with your classmates to get through?
Oh, for sure. I sat at this table and we all kind of collectively struggled on every single test. And it was to the point where I went to the professor and kind of explained, it's not just me who's struggling, it's like our entire class. And we were able to not only get our tests kind of restructured a little bit, but lessons were taught a little bit different. And it was not only helpful for me, but also like the other girls in my class and the other people in general.
That's awesome. You were able to actually affect change and get through the course and learn what you need to know now so you know it later, which is the goal, right? Your graduate studies in cybersecurity, what classes have you taken so far in cybersecurity and what's the experience been like?
Right now I'm taking my first grad class, which is Cyber 505, and it's basically an introduction to cybersecurity. And originally, I kind of thought that grad school was going to be super technical because, again, cybersecurity, you think of big mainframes and like hackers and stuff like that. But we're learning from a business perspective the social implications of cybersecurity. And we've been able to meet people in the field that are currently working in that and seeing what their kind of fears are with the future of cybersecurity in this country.
In the industry, you had an internship, right? Where was your internship?
My internship was at PSE&G in New Jersey.
And what did you do there?
I was a technical intern on the work management and mobile solutions team, also known as the ASIS team. And basically that team helped to organize and work through work orders at the company.
And how did what you were doing at your internship connect to what you learned in your classes here at Quinnipiac?
I definitely was able to use everything that I've learned when it comes to leadership as well as talking to people, because the work can be easy, but your team is even more important. So basically learning how people work and how they like to work.
And it sounds like you were doing advocacy on behalf of those who were submitting work orders. You did advocacy with the Board of Education, and you're a resident assistant, so you're advocating for your residents and helping them in their experience here on campus. Walk me through what a resident assistant does in the residence halls here at Quinnipiac, and what makes that experience so enjoyable for you.
So I definitely love the community portion of being an RA. I love knowing my residents. I love seeing them out and about on campus and basically being that person that they can go towards. So I kind of help with whether they're struggling with classes, being able to give them resources on campus, help them with housing, help them with classes, pretty much being the voice for them, but also being able to help them at any point that they need.
And you also hold events. We were talking before the show about what your favorite event is that you've held for your residents. What was the favorite event you've held for your residents so far this year?
This year, I did a sip and paint event where we had a dirty soda bar as well as tote bag painting. We had canvases you could paint, little makeup bags. And it was definitely very nice because you can kind of choose what you wanted to do. And I was at the drink making station, so I was able to talk to residents, be face-to-face with them, kind of see how they were doing, but also give them a little treat.
It's awesome to have that connecting with your residents. Getting involved here on campus as well is something that's really important at Quinnipiac. All of your academic experiences and other involvements that we've talked about, how have those helped shape and prepare you for what life after graduation is?
I feel like I've definitely learned a lot about people. And although I have a very technical degree and like post-grad, it's all very technical. When it comes down to it, like I think good work is with how you're able to talk about yourself as well as being able to help others. And I feel like leadership is definitely the biggest thing with that I've learned.
And related to computer science, it's a field that's broad and there's a lot of different things you can do in it, and you're taking the business advocacy side of computer science, it sounds like. What advice would you give to someone who is interested in the field but is not quite sure if it's the place for them?
I would say, like, don't be afraid to try and don't doubt yourself, because if you really want something, you can definitely do it, and you shouldn't really be letting other people determine what you're good at and what you actually enjoy.
Well, Jess, thank you so much for joining me on the show and sharing your insights and perspective.
Thank you.
If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to share and subscribe and find other episodes on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube podcasts. Until next time, when I ask my next guest, who are you? I'm Joel Vanner. Bye for now.